Hi, Gary here with JMC Music Academy and Jim's Music Center in Tustin, California again, coming at you for another lesson. In our last video, we talked about some dexterity in our left hands, or some independence between our fingers. In today's video lesson, what we're going to do is move forward to where we're going to take 3 notes per string and exhaust the possibilities with our left hand in a similar way that we did in our last video, except the material will be different, meaning it'll be 3 notes per string, so we'll be using 3 fingers. So the first way that we want to get started with this, similar to the last one, is to start out pretty basic and simple. And so all we're going to do here is going to play, and again, it doesn't matter, recapping from our last video, it doesn't really matter exactly where you start this from. In fact, you should do it in a place that's pretty comfortable for your hand. So it might be up higher on the neck for you, it may be in the middle, it may be down lower. For our sake of display purposes in your screenshot, I'm going to go ahead and stay here in what's referred to as third position, since our first finger is lined up at the 3rd fret. So what we're going to do here is just going to use our adjacent fingers, adjacent meaning next to each other, no finger skips yet. That'll come later in the video. But we'll use our adjacent fingers, 1, 2, and 3. So that's index, middle, and ring finger, starting on the 6th string, and we're just going to play them nice and easy. That I returned the very same way that I went up. I went fingers 1, 2, and 3 and went all the way up to the 1st string. And as I returned back down to the 6th string, I also just used fingers 1, 2, and 3 in that very same order. Okay. And you can move that around and continue to do that. I think some people used to call it doing racks of them. So that my example would be this. Etc. And just moving your way up and down the neck. Again, we're trying to do these not really at that tempo or that speed. We're trying to do them a bit slower, and we're doing them for reasons of stamina with our left hand. So to continue on, what we can also do, of course, is use different fingers, and that's what I want to encourage you to do. So in this example, we're going to use fingers 2, 3, and 4 on our left hand, and we're going to omit our first finger. So I'll still be now, this time I would be technically in 2nd position, but the material will start in the same place as I did before with my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger. So here are fingers 2, 3, and 4 with the same sort of endurance exercise. So if we go back to the first 3 fingers, fingers 1, 2, and 3, there's another possibility that we didn't exhaust, which is to go backwards. So in this case, we will go fingers 3, 2, and 1, and make our exercise go all the way up and back like this. Well, we can do the same thing, and we should do the same thing with fingers 2, 3, and 4. And so let's go ahead and do that. That's what we did earlier. Now we're going to turn it around and do it backwards, if you will. So I want to point something out that will hold true for the latter part of this video as well. And the point that I want to make here is that if you're paying very close attention to the finger movements, you can see in any one of the exercises that I'm keeping the other fingers down even after I'm done with them. This is in the interest of keeping our fingers really close to the fingerboard. That's really what we're after. An economy of movement and an ergonomic way to approach this, even when we're doing it backwards. So of course you can't keep all 3 fingers down when you're doing it backwards, or it won't work. You can't go by keeping this down, you're going to get the same note. But you can keep your fingers really close to the fingerboard. Okay, so we're now going to advance to doing this where instead of using adjacent fingers, we're going to use some combinations with a non-adjacent finger. So the first one, excuse me, the first one we'll encounter will encompass fingers 1, 2, and 4. And this is something that you'll absolutely come upon when you're playing. There'll be configurations like this that you'll need to execute. So it's great to practice these. Again, this is dexterity, endurance, strength. So I'll stay in the same place, 3rd position. But now what we're going to do is use something that's called a 4-fret spread. And this is a very common thing in playing guitar. This is kind of what a position is made out of. And so I'm lined up in 3rd position. All the notes that are going to be in the 3rd fret will be accessed by or covered by my index finger. All the notes that'll be covered on finger 2 will be in the 4th fret. And all the notes that are covered by finger 4, because those are the 3 fingers we said we would use, those will cover all the notes that lie underneath our 4th finger at the 6th fret. So everything in the 3rd fret covered by finger 1, everything in the 4th fret covered by finger 2, and everything in the 6th fret covered by finger 3. That should look like this slowly. And of course, we would return the same way. As you practice this, you actually may hear some little snippets or portions of songs, and that's not uncommon because these configurations that we're dealing with are parts or pieces of scales or figures or lines that you would hear in any kind of musical context, regardless of what genre of music. So let me play that one a little bit more quickly just to show you how you could perhaps build it up. Okay. And to help exhaust the possibilities, what we'll do is go ahead and switch that around now. We'll use the same fingers that we used in the same frets, but now we'll do that backwards. And so instead of being fingers 1, 2, and 4, it's going to be fingers 4, 2, and 1. So to continue on and try and exhaust more possibilities, so we're really getting a good balance of things with our hand. For these, instead of doing fingers 1, 2, and 4, we're going to switch it around. We're going to play 1, 3, and 4. So once again, in 3rd position, all the notes that are in the 3rd fret will be accessed by using finger 1. All the notes that are in the 5th fret will be accessed by using finger 3. And all the notes that are in the 6th fret will be accessed by using finger 4. That should look something like this. And of course, we'll take that same option and we'll exhaust those possibilities by reversing that. So instead of fingers 1, 3, and 4, we'll now be doing fingers 4, 3, and 1. And that should look something like this. so 3 note per string finger dexterity. Thanks for tuning in. Please stay tuned for more videos like this in our continued series for helping you get better at playing guitar called Semester 1 Certification. Thanks so much for tuning into the JMC Academy. We'll see you soon. Have a great day.